Hey everyone, Combo here, back with another Empires and Puzzles video, and today we have the Gem Summon Challenge back in the game. This is the third month in a row that we've had this event. The first month you had to do 10 pulls with gems in order to get a guaranteed 5-star legendary hero, and the selection of heroes was not that great. Last month we had the Gem Summon Challenge when you had to do 30 pulls with gems, and the list of 10 heroes that you would randomly get a 5-star legendary hero from at the end was significantly better, but again you had to do 30 pulls. And now we have the option to do 20 pulls with gems and get a guaranteed 5-star legendary hero, and the list is pretty good. Definitely not as good as last month, but there is a very sought after hero, Gastille, that is in this mix. He is definitely the gem of the bunch. He is a Titan god. You can see his stats here are 1550 attack, 1280 shield, and 2448 health. These stats are with him double limit broken, masterclass emblems, and everything. And I've mentioned in videos before, the stats here are as if you were to follow the talent path all the way to the left on the regular talent path, and then also the masterclass emblems. So that does include the attack masterclass emblems. He's average mana speed. All allies get plus 150% normal attack for 4 turns. This effect can be active in addition to effects that alter attack in general. Normal attacks can have a total maximum of plus 200% increased power while this effect is active. All damage all enemies received is increased by plus 55% for 4 turns. So the amount of extra damage that you get from tiles with Gastille is insane. I personally do not have Gastille. He is somebody who I've been wanting since he came out, so he is who I am hoping to get in this Gem Summon Challenge. All of the heroes in this round's events are all Contest of Element heroes, and that includes a couple new ones that just recently got costumes with Ignacio and Jakun. I've got Ignacio. I've got him only single limit broken right now. I wouldn't say that I use him every single war, but I do use him most wars. He's fast mana speed, recovers 28% health for all allies, recovers an additional 4% health per each fire shield on the board, up to 60% in total. All allies then get plus 55% attack for 4 turns, and then he also cleanses status ailments from all allies. He's got top tier level stats, as you can see, with a total individual power of 1572, 1646 attack, 1638 shield, and 3239 health. And the shield you could definitely get higher because, again, these are with the attack masterclass emblems. If you put the shield masterclass emblems on him, you're going to add 180 shield, and then that doesn't even include any shield nodes that got missed on that top part of the talent path. So Ignacio is a really good healer in my opinion. The heal percentage itself is good depending on how many fire shields you have. He's fast mana speed, plus he cleanses everybody, and he gives that plus 55% attack for everybody. The other costume for the Contest of Elements I'm not the biggest fan of with Jakun. He's very fast mana speed, deals 210% damage to all allies, deals 210% damage to all enemies. All dark enemies get minus 39% accuracy for 3 turns. All ice enemies get minus 39% defense for 3 turns. All nature enemies get minus 39% mana generation for 3 turns, and all fire enemies get minus 39% attack for 3 turns. It is cool that he's very fast mana speed, but the rest of his special, honestly, I'm just not a huge fan of, with the differing ailments for each of the 4 elements. And if there are any holy enemies on the other team, then they're not going to get any ailments. So that's 3 out of these 10 heroes. Let's take a look at the other ones. We've got Nylora. She's fast mana speed. The target's element is changed to fire for 3 turns. She then deals 550% damage to the target. The target gets minus 68% defense against ice for 3 turns. So Nylora is definitely a very interesting hero. I love that she's fast mana speed, the fact that she's a monk, so she's going to be able to activate in 7 tiles with a legendary troop. And if you have a very strong blue Titan team, then she could definitely be very helpful for you against any color Titan because of the fact that she's going to change the Titan to the fire element. And also, if you like to compete in Mythic Titan events, and if you have a strong blue Titan team, then Nylora is going to be perfect for you because she's going to make it so that any Mythic Titan can be turned into a red Mythic Titan. So you can use Grimsteel with that attack growth and any other blue heroes you've got on your Mythic Titan team. Personally, I feel like she's a little bit more specific for Titans and Mythic Titans, but she could definitely also be used in wars as well, depending on your roster. The other ice hero is going to be Jolt. Jolt. Jolt is very fast mana speed, deals 215% damage to the target. The attack chains through all enemies who are adjacent to any hit enemy. All enemies get minus 34% accuracy for 3 turns, and all ice allies get plus 60% attack for 3 turns. So the first 2 parts of her special are pretty much similar to the Khufu effect, where if you've got 5 enemies at the time when her special goes off, it's going to hit everybody. But if the tank is taken out, then it's only going to hit 2 out of the 4 enemies that are left. And then the minus 34% accuracy for 3 turns for all enemies is decent, but the plus 60% attack for 3 turns for all ice allies is a very high attack up stat. So if you are somebody who likes to play mono or even 4-1, Jolt would be a very good hero for you. She can definitely be used in wars, and obviously she's going to be helpful for Titans and Mythic Titans as well because of the fact that she affects all ice allies. For our nature heroes, the first hero is going to be Crom. He's average mana speed, boosts health of all allies by 800, boosted health can exceed max HP, boosts health of all allies by an additional 50 for each nature shield up to 1400. All ice enemies get 1400 sand damage over 4 turns. All fire enemies get 1400 water damage over 4 turns. All dark enemies get 1400 burn over 4 turns. And all holy enemies receive 1400 poison damage over 4 turns. So damage over time has definitely been a big factor lately, especially with all of the Untold Tales 2 heroes and the Arctic Core and Molten Core damage that those heroes give, because it is a lot. And when you are able to combine those damage over time factors with other damage over time, like heroes similar to Crom with the high damage over time factor, it adds up quickly. And if the other team does not have a cleanser or a reflector or an ailment blocker or something like that, then these damage over time stats can basically win you a battle. I was never able to pull Crom, but Crom is definitely a very good healer in my opinion, and I love his ether power with ailment reflect. That is pretty much the best ether power in the game. The other nature hero is going to be Desmond. Desmond is average mana speed, deals 480% damage to the enemies on the edge of the enemy formation. If there is only one enemy, the damage is doubled. Boosts the caster and nearby allies' health by 20% of the damage dealt to each enemy, and then for each hit ice enemy, the boosted health is 40% of the damage dealt to them. The enemies on the edges of the enemy formation get silenced for 3 turns. Against ice characters, this status effect becomes uncleansable and lasts 2 turns longer. Definitely a very interesting hero, especially when you consider the extra healing and the silence longer for ice enemies on the edges of the formation, because a lot of alliances are seeing Sable on the wings in wars a lot. So you're going to be able to get that increased health, but more importantly, you're going to be able to silence her for 5 turns, which is a lifetime in a war, especially considering the fact that she's very fast mana speed. So Desmond, definitely a very interesting hero also. The other holy hero that is in this Gem Summon Challenge, in my opinion, is probably the worst hero out of this group of 10, and she's not completely terrible. I just wish that she gave a straight up heal percentage and not a heal over time, but her special is slow mana speed. If there are 8 or more holy shields on the board, all effects cast in this special skill are undispellable. The caster gets taunt that prevents enemies from using special skills on the caster's allies for 5 turns. All allies regenerate 1300 boosted health over 5 turns. Boosted health can exceed max HP, and then all allies get plus 44% mana generation for 5 turns. I wish that the heal was just a straight up heal percentage, because 1300 over 5 turns is like a lifetime. You're getting about 275 or 280 health each turn, which is really not a lot at this point in the game. But taunt for 5 turns is very good. The mana generation for 5 turns is also very good. So definitely a decent support hero, and also love the fact that she's cleric class, which is a great class for a hero like her. The other dark hero is Farah, who is another great Titan and Mythic Titan hero. Can also definitely be used for wars. She's fast mana speed, deals 500% damage to the target, deals additional 200% damage to as many random enemies as there are dark tiles on the board, up to a maximum of 12 hits. The damage is reduced on each consecutive hit. All hit targets get minus 35% defense against dark, and a further minus minus 5% decrease every time they are hit during 4 turns, down to minus 60% defense. So if you use her correctly with a lot of purple tiles on the board, she is going to do a ton of damage. And obviously she's going to be extremely effective for Titans and Mythic Titans as well. And then the last hero that we have not yet talked about is going to be Nikki. Nikki is slow mana speed. This special skill never misses its target, deals 430% damage to all enemies, heals all allies who have less than 60% health left. Fire allies are healed to 75% health, and all other allies get healed up to 60% health. So I lied. I said that Grilka was the worst hero in this group of 10. Nikki is definitely the worst hero in this group of 10, in my opinion. Gastille and Farah, the 2 purple heroes, are definitely the best in this group of 10, in my opinion. Ignacio probably right behind him. Crom, another top hero. The 2 blue heroes with Jolt and Nylora, I think, are very good. Desmond probably right behind them. Jakun probably after them. And then Grilka and Nikki as far as a top 10 list, if I were to come up with one quickly out of these 10. So obviously you're not going to be able to choose which hero you get, but again, that would be my kind of ranking out of these 10 heroes. And before you get one, obviously you need to do 20 pulls with gems. So you can do 2 times 10 pulls and be able to get one of these heroes, which is what I am going to do right now. Let's go take a look at the portals that are available to do gem pulls in, and then I'm going to do my 2 times 10 pulls. The first portal that is going to be available is the Untold Tales 2 portal. And yesterday I actually posted a video with 50 pulls that I did in this portal. If you haven't checked out that video, definitely go do so. I will pin a comment with a link to that video. So this is a portal you could choose. It would be 3,000 gems to do a times 10 pull. So it would cost you 6,000 gems, obviously, to do 20 gem pulls in this portal. Or if you wanted to do a 30 pull, if you had the gems, you could do a 30 pull for 8,400 gems. The featured heroes in this portal are very good. We've got Fimifang, who is a brand new hero. She cleanses status ailments from herself. She attacks the target with Frostfall Strike up to 3,000 damage, and it deals 40% more damage if the target is of the fire element. And then she gives a stack to all allies with plus 5% mana generation and also plus 20% defense up to a max of 10. So you can get up to plus 200% defense and up to plus 50% mana generation. The other featured hero is Fafter, who in my opinion is one of the best heroes in the game right now. She's fast mana speed, attacks the target and nearby enemies with the Frostfall Strike, dealing up to 2,100 damage, deals 40% more damage if the target is of the fire element. This special skill never misses its targets. All damage the target and nearby enemies receive is increased by plus 35% for 3 turns. And then the target and nearby enemies reflect status effect buffs to a random character on the opposing team for 3 turns. That part about the plus 35% damage for 3 turns does affect the Arctic core damage of Fafner. So everybody is going to get 480 frost damage for 3 turns after Fafner's special goes off, or up to 480 rather, depending on what the percentage of the Arctic core is at the time that their special goes off. And that is actually higher than 480 damage, because once you put a troop, and if you've got a matching legendary troop, then that damage goes up to like 650 or 700 every single turn, which is pretty crazy if you ask me. Add on the plus 35% extra damage, you're looking at like 800 to 900 damage every single turn for all enemies. Fafter is a monster. And then the other featured hero is Hogni. Hogni is average mana speed, attacks the target and nearby enemies with the Frostfall Strike, dealing up to 2,300 damage, deals 40% more damage if the target is of the fire element, reduces the max health of the target and nearby enemies by 800. This effect is stronger against targets with boosted health. The target and nearby enemies get minus 70% decrease for any healing received for 4 turns. I've got Hogni at level 90. He is very fun to use. He's also got that Arctic core as well. And the rest of the heroes in the Untold Tales are really good also. Duelfiller is still one of the best healers and support heroes in the game. Regin is a great attacker. Gander is awesome. Ott is awesome. So there's definitely some very good heroes in this Untold Tales 2 portal. I think that would be a great portal to pull from. The next portal is the Wilderness Summon portal. This is another very good portal, and we've got some great featured heroes with Ruan Zauki, fast mana speed. The special skill has a chance to deal critical hits, dispels 2 buffs from all enemies, deals 450% damage to the target with with the highest remaining health and then deals 250% damage to all other enemies. The enemy that had the highest remaining health gets 1134 water damage over 3 turns. This effect cannot be cleansed. All of these new War of Three Kingdoms heroes are really good. And then we've got a couple dwarves in here with Quarry. He's average mana speed, deals 450% damage to the target and nearby enemies. The target and nearby enemies received 1092 water damage over 4 turns. All allies absorb 50% of the dealt water damage as boosted health. And then he adds a growth factor where all allies get 200 attack and 200 defense. The other dwarf is Gongoth, who is one of the newer dwarves that have come out. He's fast mana speed, deals 400% damage to the target and nearby enemies. He gives a wither effect where the target and nearby enemies get minus 350 attack, and then the target and nearby enemies receive plus 25% increased damage for 3 turns. The effect is increased by plus 10% for each minion or mega minion owned by all enemies, up to plus 85% damage in total. Gongoth is another hero that has been a problem for a lot of people like Fafnir. Strong hitter, the wither effect definitely impactful, and then the increased damage is very difficult to deal with if you don't have the right heroes. And then the last featured hero in this portal is Astrid, and if you don't already have her, she's still one of the best, if not the best reviver in the game. She's average mana speed, recovers 50% health for all allies. Each defeated ally has a 40% chance to get revived with 30% health, and then all allies have a 20% chance to drop any received damage to 1 for 3 turns. That includes regular tile damage or regular attacks each turn also. She's got the great passives that reduce any dancing to only 1 turn as well. She's a bard, so she gives plus 5% mana generation for all solo family members. Definitely a great hero. This portal would cost you 3,400 gems to do a 10 pull, or 9,400 gems if you wanted to do a 30 pull. So if you were to do 2 times 10 pulls, obviously it's going to cost you 6,800 gems, which is 800 gems more than the Untold Tales 2 portal that we just looked at. And you can do 1 times 10 pull in one portal and another 10 pull in a different portal. Does not have to be the same portal that you do the 2 times 10 pulls in. There's also a lot of other great heroes in this portal. Also, there's all of the woodland fawns, including Bramble, Ascian, Yolanda here. We've got Maud, Philomena, Jolion, who is one of the newer ones, and then Isadora we looked at also. There's also Gideon, Isabel, Araminta, Tamlin, Peregrine, Verity, and then some other heroes that are not part of that family, which are not as good, but all of the woodland fawns are definitely very good. The next portal you could do a 10 pull in is the Dune Summon. I would not recommend this portal. This portal comes around every single month, and the featured heroes this time around are not that great, unfortunately. There's Sneferu, who is a brand new hero with his costume. There's Horus, who has been out for a while, and then there's also Anubis, who has also been out a while. So you can take a look at those hero specials if you want to, but personally, I do not think this is a portal that you should be spending gems on. Another portal that you could do gem pulls in for the Gem Summon Challenge is the seasonal event. We've got Andy, Serena, and Costume Flip as the 3 featured heroes. This portal is interesting because it only costs 2,600 gems, so it would cost you 5,200 gems to do 20 gem pulls in this portal. 2 of the featured heroes are brand new from when the event came out last month. Andy J is slow mana speed, deals 450% damage to all enemies. All allies except the caster dance the Blazing Rave Dance for 3 turns, where they get plus 50% defense if any dancer is hit with direct damage from a special skill. The Blazing Rave Dance is extended by 1 turn for all dancers. The dance can only be extended once per turn. So with the dancing effect, he would be a good option to bring up against Bernadette, but I would only do that in Rush War because of the fact that he's slow mana speed. Serena is average mana speed, deals 400% damage to the target, summons a Gossip Whisperer Fiend for the target. It disappears when it has absorbed 25% of the target's max health, and then whoever has one of these Gossip Whisperer Fiends gets minus 45% accuracy for as long as they have one of those fiends. And again, it creates a clone of itself to nearby enemies each turn. The other featured hero is Flip. He's average mana speed, recovers 50% health for all allies. All allies bypass defensive buffs with their attacks for 4 turns. And then all allies get plus 55% critical chance for 4 turns. So he's definitely a good support hero as well. So this could be an option for you if you were trying to minimize how many gems you spend on the Gem Summon Challenge. And then the last portal available is the Pickup Summon. This is another one one where you would only have to spend 2,600 gems on a ×10 pull, so it'd be 5,200 gems for you. The two featured heroes are Baltair. He's slow mana speed, deals 350% damage to all enemies, heals all allies for 30% of the damage dealt. All enemies receive minion wound for 5 turns. Minion wound gives the target's minion's health is reduced by -50% and mega minion's health is reduced by 25% each turn. All allies get -40% mana generation for 5 turns. He's also a bard, so gives that 5% mana generation for all solo family members, and also has the dancing effect where any dancing cast by the enemies gets reduced for 1 turn. And then Whalethau is the other featured hero. She's fast mana speed, heals all allies who have less than 50% health to 50% health, and then all allies regenerate 1,320 boosted health over 3 turns. Boosted health can exceed max HP. Source of buffs. The following effects are cast on a random ally at the start of each turn, plus 100% special skill damage for 4 turns, and plus 33% mana generation for 4 turns. The source of buffs will activate 3 times. Each attempt to dispel it removes 1 activation. So she's pretty decent also. Other than those 2 featured heroes, all of the other featured heroes do not have costumes available, unfortunately, so pretty much none of the other heroes are worth leveling up unless if you've already got their costumes, and even some of those are not that great in my opinion. But again, if you were looking to save gems, then this could be an option for you with that gem summon challenge. And those are all of the main portals that you could pull from for the gem summon challenge. There's also the portal where you can only get season 1 heroes. Obviously I would not recommend that. For me, I am going to go back to the Untold Tales 2 portal to see if I can get lucky and pull Fafnir or one of those other Untold Tales 2 heroes. So let's go see if we can get lucky. All right, so I do have enough gems to do 2 ×10 pulls, which is what we are going to do to see if we can get lucky and pull Fafnir or one of these other Untold Tales 2 heroes. So here we go. Come on, small giant. I see green, and we get Caemon. Greymane. Helgi, I expect to see a lot of Helgi since he is the only 3-star hero that is one of the event heroes, I believe. As we get Jarver, Nordri, another 3-star, Kirill, Azar, Sumle. Every single time I see a hero like him who has a larger image, I get excited and think it's a 5-star hero, but we did not get a 5-star hero. All right, let's see if we can get lucky with our second ×10 pull. Come on, small giant. Give me an Untold Tales 2 legendary hero. Burden. I saw the green background and got excited. Dane. Wukong, a couple epic heroes. Carver, Sumle again, Jarver. Only a couple pulls left. Come on, small giant. Jarver, Sumle, not looking good. Another green, but Ishtak. Man, not even a hero of the month. No 5-star heroes in our 20 pulls. All right, well, let's see if we can get lucky and pull Gastille or one of the other heroes I wanted from the Gem Summon Challenge. That would certainly be a good consolation prize. Out of the heroes here, the only ones I have leveled up are Ignacio and Farah, so definitely hoping I don't get one of the Holy Heroes or one of the Fire Heroes. All right, here we go. Me a purple background. We got green Crom. Nope, we're gonna get Desmond. All right. Well, not really somebody I wanted. I'll have to decide if I am going to level him up. Still not able to get Gastille, unfortunately. Even with having a 10% chance, which is pretty much the best odds that you're gonna get. Let me know if you decided to do the Gem Summon Challenge and who you were able to pull. And that is gonna do it for today's video. I hope you did enjoy it or found it helpful. And if you did, hit that like button. Make sure you're subbed to my channel. And I'll catch you guys next time.